1 in 4 American adults has a disability. Disabilities can range from hearing or vision loss, mobility concerns, or cognitive challenges that impact memory, concentration, or decision making. Finding the right kind of help and support is important. Fortunately, families and individuals have an ally here in metropolitan Milwaukee. Independence First has a full range of services and support that empowers individuals. Kathy Acevedo is the Chief Operating Officer at Independence First and is here to tell us about this important work. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
What does Independence First do to help empower individuals and families with disabilities?
So Independence First, we're one of 8 independent living centers here in the state of Wisconsin, and we are a resource for people with disabilities. We empower persons with disabilities to live independently in their community and provide over 40 programs centered in advocacy, independent living, skills training, peer support, transition to assist them in living more independently in their community. And we also have an information and referral center, and our coordinators in the center provide assistance in assessing callers that call in wanting to know if we provide specific services that they may need. However, if we cannot provide those services, we will assist them in finding those resources within the community.
When we talk about disabilities, some disabilities are very visible. Someone who may have a mobility impairment, for example. Others are not so visible. How does Independence First work to make sure that people understand that there are a range of disabilities and the importance of people being able to receive support to live better lives?
We offer, in our programs, we offer a lot of education programs, not only to people with disabilities that want to advocate for their independence. We also come alongside their family members. We work with MPS and other schools in assisting in training, with skills training, educating them on what that transition would look like as far as socialization. And we also have programs that are fun, like e-gaming.
Disability is something that can happen to someone at any point in their life. Someone could have vision loss or hearing loss later in life, or when they're older. How do you work to help people adjust to that situation where they suddenly find themselves living life differently because of a disability that's happened?
One of the things that we provide is peer support. Sometimes when you have someone that is similar to you or you can identify with, we provide peer support, but we really work with the consumer to see what their goals are and what objectives they have. And we look for the necessary tools to come alongside them so it would be an easier transition for them and adapting to this new disability. As you mentioned, there are some of us that are born with disabilities and others that acquire disabilities through a major accident in life, or as we get older, we acquire those disabilities.
How do you work with families? Because the families care about, love each other. They want to make sure that someone who may be addressing a disability has the support they need, and they're doing what they can do to help. How can families get help from Independence First?
They can call us, and they will be connected with a independent living coordinator, and we have an intake process, and we gather information from the family member to see what they need, what they're looking for. And as they open that intake up, they'll work together and looking for ways that we can come alongside them and helping them understand what that transition looks like, or what they can do for themselves. That transition for parents sometimes is very difficult. And so we also help them in navigating through that process.
It seems one of the things that you really do to assist people is letting people know that they're not alone.
Oh, absolutely. One in three people have a disability, and it's common for our family members, friends, to have disabilities, and we are just looking to be the first resource for them. And so once they walk into our doors, they're going to find a lot of resources available to them, from aging in place versus living in a nursing home, which is a very big part of what we do. We assist with assistive technology and providing examples of adaptive equipment that they may utilize and try it out before they buy, so that they could limit the amount of expenses that they have if an assistive technology tool is needed. We provide the benefits counseling as well. Benefits is a huge part of living independently for someone that has a disability. And we also provide personal care and supportive home care services to those people with disabilities that may be interested in receiving those services in the home.
With all these great services that you offer, how many different locations are there for Independence First in the metropolitan area so people can find help right in the communities where they live?
So currently, we have 8 independent living centers in the state of Wisconsin, and we are Independence First. We serve Milwaukee County, Ozaukee County, Waukesha, and Washington County. And so we do have satellite offices available where the community can reach out to us, and we will go to you if you're not able to come to us.
You mentioned before, talked a little bit about advocacy. How important is that advocacy work on behalf of individuals who've experienced or experiencing a disability?
Advocacy is very important. It's their voice, it's their opportunity to communicate the choices that they've made so that they can live independently within their community. And so many people don't know, or they forget that they have a voice. And Independence First, we come alongside them and we give them the tools and the resources necessary so that they learn how they can advocate for themselves, especially what they want to focus on. Is it transportation? Is it housing? Is it an assistive technology tool that they may need? And how do they acquire those resources, and what should they focus on? So we do assist them with navigating that process and transition.
Kathy, there's a lot of talk and some action in Washington that um, is impacting programs that support people with disabilities. One concern that I know a lot of folks have is what potentially is going to happen to Medicaid, which is so important to individuals who have disabilities in terms of having the help and financial support that's needed. What are you telling folks about Medicaid, and how can people stay aware of what's happening with Medicaid?
So Medicaid, we have 18% of Wisconsin's population receives Medicaid service. That's a big percentage. And that's 1.3 million people in the state of Wisconsin that receive the Medicaid services. And so cutting Medicaid is detrimental to the day-to-day needs of people with disabilities. And so it's important that those receiving services become familiar with what those cuts are and how it would impact them. It'll impact everyone a little bit differently, but cutting Medicaid in general is going to be devastating to many families and community members that receive those services. And so on March 27th, Independence First, alongside the Milwaukee County Commission on Aging, is hosting a community forum where those impacted by the cuts will share their stories on how these cuts to Medicaid affect them. So anybody is welcome to come down. It is going to be in our main office at 540 South First Street, and it'll take place between 1 and 3 p.m.
Great. Well, thank you so much for telling us about that and for the work that you do every day at Independence First.
Thanks for having us.
For more information about Independence First, you can visit the website, independencefirst.org, for more help and for more information. We're right back.